Guess what? Going on Zoom.
Welcome, everybody.
You'll be up in an hour.
If you can hear me, please mute yourself. Thanks for coming tonight. And welcome to, hold on, Mark. Just trying to see who's still muted. I'm muting a few of you here. All right, welcome. Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. HPH goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. HPH affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious backgrounds, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everybody, and welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Lynn, and welcome, everyone. It's a sacred privilege to work with you. I'm sorry for what you've gone through, but I stand in awe of you working to find the silver linings, benefit from them, share them with others. And tonight, one of my most favorite sessions, we've been doing these once a month all year, different ones. So this is the Afterlife Contact session. A common name for this is after death communication, but I like afterlife contact much better. You get the D word in there, you're focusing on death and loss instead of they're in the afterlife and you're communicating with, you're contacting them. I'll say children and parents, but this session especially is also for grandparents, siblings, close relatives, and friends. And I'll repeat this class again on December 1st so that you and other family members, so feel free to invite them. The power of the group, the energy with a common focus can be the square of the number of people involved. So that's a lot of energy, and that can really help expedite and expand your contact with your child. Now, a couple housekeeping things. For a few reasons, we're going to shift the Ask the Soul Doctor class from the third Monday of each month to the second Monday of each month. So please make a note of that, which means the next one will be a week from tonight instead of 2 weeks. And that should be in the notice, but I wanted you to know about that. Again, Ask the Soul Doctor, second Monday of each month. And after next month, excuse me, we'll have covered all the experiential classes. I have 10 different audio programs, all free at soulproof.com/shop. And so we won't be repeating those next year. Instead, I'll do some different videos in the regular slot, like a guest speaker. So that's enough on that. If you've not already, please read article number 9, which is visiting with your, quote, departed loved one now. And we use the quote because you realize your child isn't really departed. I mean, the language is just so horrible. They're probably right beside you. Probably going, yeah, mom's going to take some time to get in touch. I've been trying to reach her or dad, but she's always so busy. And so they're not departed. But in that article at the end, it has recommendations pre-session. In other words, there's a number of things that if you do, you're more likely to have an optimal experience. So if you haven't done those for the class, it's okay. This is a kind of a short version of it, but the version under shop is a fuller version. And then again, you can read article number 9 and do all the pre-session recommendations and likely have a much more in-depth contact. But tonight's going to be powerful, and that's why I'm hurrying along, because I want to focus on the session tonight. So a few tips. First of all, know that your child is near. The saying "be here now" or "it's all here now." Your child is not a zillion trillion miles away and has to travel light years to be here. We're all life is happening right now, just a different vibrational frequency, energy, speed. It depends on whether you understand. A lot of mediums can see your kids, but most of us can't. But your child is very near, usually trying to contact you. Of course, they have their own lives, but they want to be there to help, comfort, and to continue a relationship. In other words, just because their earthly body died doesn't mean the relationship is over. That's one of the points that our Shining Light parents made when we interviewed them, and in the book, Shining Light Parents Speak, that it's a continued relationship because you understand that their earthly body and yours is much, much less than 1% of who and what you really are. So it's just that Earthlings focus so much on that they think that's a real game changer. When in fact, it's just a new moment, a different way. Also know that your kids can multi-locate. They're beings of energy. They're beings of consciousness. And they're more in touch with that. They're not limited like we are on Earth with our brain and senses. So they can be doing numerous things at once. So don't feel like you're bugging them or bothering them by asking them to come in. The biggest key, if you take away one thing from now, is that to enjoy a different relationship with your child, choose day by day, moment by moment, higher energy emotions and ways of being. That is peace, joy, love, gratitude for the time you had together, positive expectancy for being together more fully someday. Those. So that's all described in article number 108 at soulproof.com. One of my teachers about this point was a physician named Evan, and his son passed a year or so before, and Evan was doing really well, positive and focusing on interacting with his son nearly every day. And I said, Evan, it's really impressive, but do you ever feel sad? And he paused and he said, I don't let myself go into that emotion. He said, I don't focus on anything that would diminish the relationship with my son. And I was like, wow, he just said it so clearly and so powerfully. And so I pass that on to you. We're going to do a basic induction. Those of you who have been to other experiential classes know this. We'll contract and relax major muscle groups, about 5 sets of those. I'll ask you to breathe slowly and deeply, diaphragmatically, which means when you breathe in, your abdomen bulges out a little. And then when you exhale, your abdomen pulls in and up. And the way you're using your diaphragm to breathe. I'll ask you to focus on my voice. And once we contract and relax facial muscles, then after that, just let your mouth part open slightly. Your video will be blocked during the session, so no one will see you. But if you're like worried about looking weird because your mouth's hanging open, then that involves muscular contractions, which is just one more thing that keeps you in your body instead of getting in touch with your real self, your higher self, your eternal consciousness that hangs out with your child. when you sleep, and you can hang out now. You can just set up regular visits. We'll do 2 different sessions, each one 6 minutes of silence, and you'll be surprised how long 6 minutes feels. Again, because you're going to a different time, space, um, place, frequency, energy, and so earthly time shifts that way. If you have more than one child's passed, you can have a visit with each. You can have with the same child however you want. Now, know beforehand that your experience may seem subtle, ethereal, or even imaginary, and that's very, very common. When I trained to do past life regressions in 1998 with Brian Weiss, MD, he said that's the #1 feedback clients have. They said, it feels like it could be my imagination, and that's because your brain analyzes so much. That's what the brain does. It's a computer. You could just be making this up. Hell, it's really real. And to that I say, just tell your brain to shut up for 30 minutes. And the important thing to emphasize is these people feeling like it could be their imagination. That's when they were really revisiting previous lives, like a woman in the U.S. who experienced being a woman in France in the 1800s, never been to France, never studied French, didn't speak the language, and yet she came up with all kinds of details in her past life regression session that were later validated and researched. So that's what we call documented cases. So just know it may seem imaginary. Similarly, your time perception may shift. It may seem like 6 minutes, like you're having a 6-minute visit with your child, or it may just seem to happen in a blink of an eye, or it may seem like many minutes or even hours that you're visiting. And the other thing that people report is sometimes it's like a download. You get this download that plays out over time. Perhaps when you're dreaming, perhaps when you're meditating, that visit will continue as you play out the download. So the keywords are you want to focus on what floats up or pops in. This isn't your brain saying, let's see, what am I perceiving? What would my child say? That's the brain. You don't want to listen. The brain talks all day, and it makes you think you're separate from others, you're separate from God, you're going to die someday, none of which are true. So we're leaving the brain out of this. This is the reason for the induction, to quiet the brain so your real self, your soul, comes to the fore for a bit. So again, what floats up, what pops in? It's usually short and sweet, clear, and that's what you want to focus on. Use all of your senses as much as possible. Don't be tied to my verbs. So if I say, see yourself walking down the steps, you may not be visually oriented. You may feel yourself walking down the steps. You may know that you're walking down the steps. You may hear it. That's fine. So as much as you can, see, hear, feel, know, even smell. If there's a fragrance you strongly associate with your child. It might help to have an object, excuse me, of them with you. If you want to put that on your lap, if you hold on to it, then that makes you keep your fist clenched. So just an object on your lap or near you that can have some energy, some associations that way. Since we'll call in your angels, guides, master teachers to help out. Sense them any way you like. So angels could be huge with wings, or they could be swirls of light and energy. Same way, sense your child. Some parents like to recall their child shortly before they change worlds. Others like to imagine, okay, if your child passed at age 6 and that was 8 years ago, that they look like a teenager now. Just don't have preconceived ideas about that. Just see how they pop in. I mean, they may come into you looking like an adult. They may seem like a being of light and energy, which is really what we all are. So just be open to how they come in, and don't worry if they don't, appear the way they appear just before they pass. You'll know who it is. That's it. This is going to be about 30 minutes long, the session. So if you have to go to the bathroom beforehand, drink a little water, wet your whistle, use some Kleenex, some chapstick. Have some Kleenex handy if you think it'll be emotional. Have electronic devices turned off, except for your computer or whatever you're using for this. If there are pets in the room, it's better to have them separate. And some people like their cats or dogs get comfort, but that can diminish your experience if your cat jumps up or jumps down. So I say put them in another room for a while. And if there are others in your house, just tell them, hey, I'm doing a meditation, please don't interrupt. Please don't make loud noises that would distract you. So the brain says, what was that? And then it can break the connection. So any questions or concerns before we start? And if so, just raise your hand physically or digitally. In that case, then, if you haven't already, go ahead and blank your video and make sure you're muted. And we will set up some music in the background just to entertain your brain. And go ahead and start with the session. Good, it's time to begin. Have you sit up straight, if you can, or comfortably lie down with your eyes closed. And then give me a thumb up or thumb down, please, to make sure everything's coming okay. Let me see you for just a moment. Okay, thank you, Liza. So focusing on my voice, breathing slowly and deeply, using your diaphragm to breathe slowly in and out. Let's begin by contracting and relaxing major muscle groups, starting with your feet and legs. Take a deep breath in and tense your leg and feet muscles. Hold them tight. Hold it, and let them relax as you exhale. Now the muscles of the buttocks and stomach. Take a deep breath in and squeeze your buttocks together and tighten your stomach muscles. Hold that tension. Hold it, and exhale and relax. Now the muscles of the chest and back, take a deep breath in and tense up those muscles. And notice how uncomfortable, unnatural it feels. And as you exhale, how good it feels to let those muscles feel heavy, warm, limp. Now the muscles of the arms and hands, take a deep breath in and squeeze your fists together. Tighten those muscles. Hold it, and let them drop. Now the muscles of face. Take a deep breath in and clench your teeth together and screw your eyes together and tense up the muscles of your face. Hold that tension, hold it, and relax and let it go. Now take a moment, please, and evaluate. Now, if there are any areas of your body that feel tense, simply tense and relax those on your own. Good. Now, as I count from 10 to 1, sense yourself using all of your senses, going down steps, slowly, securely. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seeing yourself before an ornately decorated door, and you know this door represents a gateway to an even deeper state of relaxation. With my count from 3 to 1, see yourself opening the door easily and stepping through. 3, 2, 1. On the other side now, and seeing a path. Feeling guided to walk along it as you luxuriate in your senses. Feeling a warm breeze on your skin, feeling sunlight, hearing birds chirp, the wind rustling through the trees, smelling beautiful plants and flowers as you continue to walk along, feeling so good, so relaxed, so peaceful. So excited about learning how to quiet your brain a bit and perceive more what is right next to you, including your beloved child. Notice up ahead now a shallow stream, a babbling brook, and as you near it, you see a bridge that stretches across this little stream. Perceive yourself walking across this bridge now with my count from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the other side now, and seeing before you a veil. A white translucent veil that extends as high and as far from one side to the other as you can see. And you know this veil represents a gateway to another level of consciousness, one that will support wonderful visits with your beloved child. With my count from 3 to 1, see yourself slipping through an opening to the other side. 3, 2, 1. And finding before you what many have described as the Hall of Truth. A beautiful stately mansion in Greek or Roman design, or whatever design you see. A place where souls congregate for meaningful reasons, and in this case, to communicate, interdimensional communication. As you approach the temple, you find yourself greeted by your spiritual support team, your angels, guides, master teachers who are here to assist you, protect you, guide you. Enjoy a short reunion with these dear ones who have known you from the beginning of time, as they send a healing shower to wash away any lower energy emotions and fill you with higher ones. entering the hall now with your team all around you. You are never alone, and especially in moments like this when you ask for their help, thank them, and use it for the betterment of yourself and others. So find yourself now in a specially designed seat, just waiting for you. One that accentuates your senses so that you can see, hear, feel, know, even smell your beloved child in this upcoming visit. After I count from 5 to 1, allow the first contact to unfold. Prepare to see your child who's changed worlds. Hear his or her voice. Feel the touch and hug. Know their presence. Smell their fragrance. And during 6 minutes of silence, just let this flow in. Just let it pop up and enjoy the big picture of life. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. just another minute for this particular visit, knowing that you can repeat this technique anytime you want. Good, and now it's time to return to the Hall of Truth just for a few moments. We'll have another session in a bit, but taking time for your spiritual support team to wash away any lower energy emotions that might have arisen: guilt, anger, hopelessness, sadness, and filling you with positive ones, higher ones: peace, joy, love, gratitude, enthusiasm, and enlightenment. Just soak that up and get ready. And now, after I count from 5 to 1, allow the second contact to unfold. Prepare to see your children who have changed worlds. Hear their voices, feel their touch and hug, know their presence, smell their fragrance. Followed by 6 minutes of silence again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. just another minute or two for any final messages or contacts for this session. But again, knowing you can use this anytime you want. Very good. Now it's time to prepare to come back to the waking state, feeling full of peace, joy, gratitude, clarity, and more. With my count from 1 to 5, let yourself slowly, gently come back to the waking state. 1, 2, 3, feeling the clothes on your body. 4, wiggling your toes and fingers a bit. And 5, when you're ready, open your eyes. So if you can, please enable your video now. I'd love to see your faces, and we'll have time now to look at what did you experience, what didn't you experience, and any questions or any sharing. Yes, but while you're getting back with it, again, remember the next 2 classes a week from tonight. Ask the Soul Doctor, December 1st, the same Afterlife contact session. So be sure to tell family and close friends about it. I mean, we can do 100, 150, 200 as easy as 50. And the other thing I want to share is that over time, using this, a number of parents reported that the ability to contact your child generalizes. It becomes a lot easier. So you don't have to go through the whole thing with practice. You can just say, hey, I've got an extra 15 minutes. I want to hang out with my child. And just sit down, take a couple slow, deep breaths, and you're in that zone. And some people find even better results when they schedule it. Just like you schedule a visit, hey, you have time to chat or visit tomorrow. Some people will set out 2 cups of tea or 2 beers or whatever used to drink. And so that shows them that you really get that they're alive and well and present. And that makes it more real for you. So anyway, enough about that. So would anyone like to share what they did or did not experience? And I'm sure I have feedback. Yes, Marty?
So thank you so much. This is my first time joining you, and I expect that, like you just mentioned, that it'll get deeper and deeper as I go along and able to still my mind some more. It was interesting. The first session, we just wanted to look at each other. And I can't see him, but that's that visualization of that we are there and looking at each other and just connecting through our eyes. And then the second time, he led me out of the temple and down back on that path. And then I felt we just laid down on the in meadow or on grass and held hands together and were quiet.
God.
And
Yeah.
then we got up, and my son was very everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Everything was fast. He lived life fast.
Mm.
Everything was in fast motion. And so I couldn't figure out at first what we were doing, but I figured out that he was having me go to his world and
Mm. Mm.
experiencing in his world almost through play, like
Wow.
climbing trees and swinging and sitting on the crescent of a moon and flying together and just it it was him just taking me in his fast motion that he did everything in life. And then at the end we came back and he was like, "Mom, let's just lay down again."
Oh.
And held hands and looked up at the sky, and he made me laugh. He did all the things to make me laugh so that he was showing me that joy
Mm. Mm.
again.
Oh my gosh. Well, you got your money's worth. Good first meeting there, Marty.
You know, and it's scary because you don't know, like you said at the beginning, and I appreciate that you said that, what is real and what's not. And I need to trust my feelings and accept that feeling.
Good. Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
What you just described, oh, my pleasure, is I've heard from others who, once you have that initial connection, they want to show you where they're living now. They want to, and they're so excited, and it's so cool. So, wow. And your son's name?
Noah,
Noah. And how long ago did he change worlds?
he went to his other plane of existence on May 25th of 2021. He was 22 years and 28 days.
Ah, well, he's having a good time, and you're going to have more
I
fun,
think so.
now that you experienced firsthand. And so, for you and for all of you, if you have any follow-up questions, or like, okay, Mark, I've been using this, but I want to make a distinction, email me, mark@soulproof.com, and I'll reply the same day and help you get even deeper experience. Well, thank you for sharing. I had tears in my eyes. How about you, Brother Jeff? Sure, that's good stuff. Yeah, thanks again. Well, good luck topping that one, but anybody else want to share? Mm. Just speak up, please, so I can see you. And the next sharing person. Yes, Jeff.
Well, I don't know what it is about you, Brother Mark, but I think it's your mellifluous voice that always takes me back to that special place. And I remember the first time you did this, we were in our house in Denver, and it was real early on in the COVID time. And I think you did three different sessions that night, and I made great connections with each one. And once again, Devin came through. He kind of showed me his special place, which he's shown me before, with a very sacred tree that has come up before. But when I walked in, he was sitting on a cushion, kind of sitting Indian style with one leg up, and I remember that pose. Lynn will remember this. We were in a Buddhist temple in Japan, eating with the monks. And I think, like his dad, he was not the limberest guy. I think he had to put a leg up to get the blood flowing again. But when I came in, he just said, "Well, it's about time you got here, Dad." And we had a great share. He knows that we just did some yard work, and then we put a kind of a shiny surface on our pool deck. And he said, "I'm really glad you didn't do that when I was around, because I would have slipped and hurt myself badly. So thanks for waiting."
Nice.
And then the last thing he did is he showed me him running into the pool. But if you've ever seen like a good photographer, or they typically do it in sports, where they take a shot and it's just the images, like a running image across, where there's freeze frames every, fraction of a second. And he showed that image of him jumping into the pool. And he said something like, "I wish they had this technology when I was around, because I would have had fun making photographs or movies with that technology."
Huh.
So it was, nothing really deep. It was mostly fun, but just another great connection. And you have a magic way of making that happen. So thank you, brother.
You're very welcome. I'm just the conductor. You all are the orchestra, and I could feel so much energy. One of my jobs is like holding the fort down while you all do these visits, because think about it. Many of you were where they were. You met halfway, or they came to you. Whatever the case, the energy, the frequency just increases so much. So thank you for sharing that, Jeff. Doris, let's hear from you, dear.
Hi, I listened to the two speakers and I don't get anything. And I don't get anything.
Okay, and that's all right. Tell me again, your child passed when, and then
My granddaughter that I raised September 2nd of 2019.
okay. And what's her name?
Allie.
Andy. So first of all, it's fairly common. You just heard from two superstars, so there's no comparison here. And so the very first thing to do, and thank you for sharing this, is to use the holistic breathing technique, because you obviously still have some significant sadness and other emotions that go with, anger.
May I just interject? It's on the 31st was a year ago that I lost my husband also now.
Okay.
So I just extra sadness is the only reason I brought that up.
Sure. All right. So read article number 70 at soulproof.com, and then use the holistic breathing technique, and use that as recommended 2 or 3 times a week, and do that for a month. And don't even think about the technique we used right now, because you need to release some lower energy, and that's not a critical or judgmental term. It's just they rate objectively lower energy than the higher ones. Sadness, anger, guilt, hopelessness, or whatever you're feeling.
You said 70? 70?
Article number 70, yes. And you'll cry your heart out, have a box of Kleenex, but you get all that out, because right now, Andy is in a realm characterized by peace, joy, love, light. She's like you heard these last two kids, the kind of fun, the adventures they're having. But you're trying to get hold of her when you're kind of stuck in sadness, and that's okay. Many parents are stuck, or grandparents. But as you release some of that through this holistic breathing technique, then you'll be more on the same wavelength as her, and then bingo, you'll be able to experience her. So any questions about that?
Well, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I've also been doing grief yoga to release.
Good.
I mean, I'm doing everything possible. I'm in a grief group, I'm in the grief yoga, and that's why I get a little bit I'm open to everything
Mhm.
and I don't get it.
Well, don't think about it too much. That's your brain. Yeah, you're trying to figure out something with your brain that can't be figured out because it's unfathomable. I mean, why do young people pass? And but when you experience it with your heart and soul, then that goes beyond words. So do the holistic breathing, and then when
I
you
wrote it
start
down.
using the technique, just keep using it, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And the more you use it, the easier it'll get. And again, remember, you can email me, mark@soulproof.com, anywhere along the way with questions, okay?
Sure.
My pleasure. You'll get there. I guarantee it. We have a few more minutes. Anyone else like to share or ask a question? And Lynn, would you like to announce what you just put in the chat for those who didn't see it, please?
Yes, first of all, don't forget you can contact Mark at soulproof.com, and he's very good about answering and questions and just loves us all. And also, I wanted to let you know that Elizabeth offers yin yoga on Thursday mornings. It's 8 o'clock Arizona time, so you check your own schedule. And you can find that on the HPH website in the calendar. So we'd love to have you join us.
All right. Well, thanks very much. And we want to stop for the presenter at 8 o'clock. But as always, we are here. We are a family. We're a community. We have all the resources you could ever want. So you don't have to go through this by yourself. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out. Let Lynn know. Let me know. And we will get you just what you need so that you're shining more. Make your child proud. Get the silver linings out of this and make your life and our world a better place. So until we see each other again, God bless. Let it shine. I love you all. Take care.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Blessings.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Great night, Mark. Thanks.
Good night. Take care, my friend.
Love you. Bye.